4 years before John's stroke in 3000.
It probably represents a state capital. It could even be the United States Capitol. That's the Eiffel Tower. That is the monument of the presidents, Lincoln, Mount Rushmore.
Unfortunately, the ability to recognize Mount Rushmore is of little use to Larry. He needs to make the much subtler distinctions between the eyes, nose, and mouth of his next-door neighbor and those of a total stranger. That he will probably never be able to do again.
That is the Statue of Liberty.
I feel sort of like a town oddity at times. Not a joke, but just one of those peculiar people you've seen all your life in town. I do. And I may not be that at all, but that's what I feel. It gets me down. I have to remind myself that there are people in the world that are a hell of a lot worse off than me, and it's not a result of their own doing. It's a result of something they had no control over. But it's a thing that I have to keep reminding myself of. This family here has helped me along quite a bit. I can't think of any better friends a person could have.
Well, you know, we only go back about 45 years.
About, not quite, almost.
One thing I have noticed since his accident, that he has maintained his sense of humor and his, I think he's done real well with that. He still keeps a nice grin on his face.
Larry's vision, I'm convinced, is crystal clear. It's his perception of what he's seeing that's confusing to him. He can look at your face and my face and Mary Ellen's face, and we each have two eyes and a nose and mouth and ears and hair, but they're very nondescript. I mean, they're almost like, they must look like clone faces or something. I don't know.
Larry, I'm going to show you some pictures of faces. I want you to look at each one and tell me who it is. Tell me about his face. Tell me what you can get from his face.
Well, the beard, of course, is the most prominent thing. It's a full beard, dark hair, dark browns, sort of a pronounced dimple to the right of his nose, to his right. That probably is a result of high cheekbones, I don't know. But it could be a scar or just dirt. Or it could be the shadow of just a hollow depression in his, from a high cheekbone but I don't know if it could possibly just be dirt from where he wiped his hand earlier. He would be an actor because it's from a scene. He looks as if it's a Western movie because of the leather shirt, the heavy leather shirt. There's a sheen to the shirt that makes it look leather to me. It's not cloth.
The fascinating thing about these cases is that they give us a window on knowledge or on recognition that we practically never see in everyday life. So agnosia is a natural experiment, if you will, which enables us to take apart experience.
No, I him. I don't recognize him.
I know it has to be Larry Finn standing in front of that mirror when I'm standing there shaving in the morning or combing my hair. Who else is it going to be? I'm the only one in there. But I can remember one instance in particular when I was at a party at someone's house. It was a hallway, leaving from one room to enter a hall, and I was leaving some room to enter the other end of the hall. Anyway, I nodded for him to proceed. He nodded back for me to proceed. So I started to proceed, and he started to proceed. I stopped and nodded for him again, and he nodded for me again, and I wasn't going to put up with that all night, so I continued on walking and walked abruptly into a mirror, which was myself.
What our studies with Larry show is that despite a total inability to spontaneously recognize famous faces, family members, or clinic staff here, that he is able to show some degree of recognition, though he is not capable of consciously being aware of that recognition. Our studies indicate that at a conscious level, he does not recognize the face, but at an unconscious level, he has recognition.
Larry is fitted with electrodes which detect his skin's electrical conductance, a technique similar to that used in lie detector tests. Larry is asked to reply no to all suggestions as to the identity of the person in the photograph.
Abby Hoffman.
No.
Che Guevara.
Meanwhile, his skin response is measured. It stays flat until he has to say no to the correct answer. Then there is a small increase in his response.
Fidel Castro.
No.
So at some level he knows that he has given the wrong answer. Furthermore, when he is asked to make a choice as to who it is and replies wrongly, there is once again an increase in his skin response.
Fidel Castro or Jose Jimenez.
Che Guevara.
Or there seems to be a difference between having conscious knowledge of something and being able to have unconscious knowledge of it. What that tells us is